Hello, all you hardcore. Welcome to part two. We're just waiting for Max to join us. Here's Max with his Cala Sewer Rat thumbnail picture. How you doing, Maxie? All
Yeah,
right.
I'm good.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
You were saying, go on.
Yeah, so but what I'm saying is yeah, Kinahan, he's in a different country, and you know what? I mean, is he a grass? We don't know that. You can't. I mean, I don't know the information
We
about
don't know. We're just asking. How can you have such a long run on your toes, and everybody knows where you are, but they don't come and grip you? Why? What's sort of what's?
But he's in under a different jurisdiction. Would English police have the jurisdiction to go to Saudi, Dubai, wherever they are? It's different laws out there. So he just comes a fugitive, or whatever you want to call it. So I mean, look, it is what it is at the end of the day, and we didn't get away with what he's done or whatever he's supposedly done. We don't know.
Well, I just think it's suspicious, mate. And it's just a simple question, but nobody's going to ask it, are they? Because boxing's so macho, innit? Eh?
Yeah.
But do you know all that? Do you know if it does come out like that? You know where you heard it first, Maxie. All right, because what it is, when you've been around these people, I ain't been around him, but certain boxing people, and you don't hear everything. You mix that up with upbringing Ivan and where I'm from, and you put it all together, and I think, yeah, something's not right. Something's a bit smelly. To be on your toes. That I've been on my toes before when I was in Rotherham Bail Hostel as a 22-year-old, and woman's you can't go out after this time. You can't do this. You can't do that. I'm like, oh. You know what I did? I just smashed my way through one of them. Window only went up and that far. I smashed my way out, mate. Burnt off in my B-Reg Cavalier Commando. 1.8. Fucking 4-speed. One of them with gears like that, like Opel Manta job.
Yeah.
But then I was on my toes. That was the first time I was ever on my toes. After 48 hours, it was ace. Going around to all your mates' houses. And then they were like, well, Monday, pork. We've got work now. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, I don't know. What am I going to do now? After I'd thought about it for about 72 hours, I dropped a right bollock there. But I know people that have been on the toes, and it's hard work. One of my mates from Swinton, he went on his toes 15 months. So he's been on his toes years, him. So, I don't know. I think that sort of carry on that he's allegedly involved in importing this and that, blah, blah. Have you any idea how many in the chain that he can say, do you know what? Look at this chain here. There must be 30, 40 people for it to get to a person in the street, for to score some gear, yeah? From coming from there, 30 or 40 inch chain. Do you think these people don't know who's in that chain, Max? If the heat coming down, listen, mate. If the heat is coming down, listen, I get to hear all sorts about these sort of cases, mate. If heat's coming down on him, they're going to say, heat's coming down. You're going to have to give people up. That's how it works, mate. You've seen all films, haven't you, Matt?
Yeah.
That's how it works. And usually the people are usually them who want to prove that they're loyal, who do the beard and all that shit. Them hardcores.
Yeah.
Madness, isn't it? You know what I mean? But I just think that it's a smelly situation that Kinahan's in. Daniel Kinahan, are you putting people into authorities? Yes or no? If not, can you do a book on how you've managed to stay out on your toes that long because you're defying medical science? And when people are defying medical science, I usually think, I'm not having it. So anyway, that's a boring story. Max, what do you think to the Saudi show, Wilder's performance, and Parker, Joshua, and Otto Wally?
Wow. Let's start with Wilder and Parker. I thought Parker got his tactics right, but you're against a poor Wilder, effectively. But this comes down to activities, everything. Parker, he kept active, he kept busy, like he says. And I think Andy Lee isn't a bad trainer. I'm starting to think, the stuff he's doing is like almost he's having a second coming, Parker. Now, I'm not saying he's gonna be the most.
Do you think that Parker might need 2 more wins so we can say it's the second coming?
Yeah, but look, I mean, let's not get too carried away with Wilder. He's beaten a poor version of Wilder. We didn't say, but Wilder wants a rematch on that, doesn't he? So, you know, whether he gets that or not, whether that happens or not, is a different story. But why do we need to see that again? I don't want to see it again. So there's that. And Wilder and Wallin, look, we're giving props to Ben Davison. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, Ben Davison's revived Joshua." Well, let's hold on a bit. Let's hold on a little bit.
They haven't even fought yet, have they? Yeah, he fought and already he's revived him. Do you see where we're coming from with people getting ahead of themselves in boxing?
Yeah, yeah, and this is where we're at. This is perfect media circus. What you're on about, Russ, is that they're talking about straight away. Oh, he's got his confidence back, trying to create a narrative, and he wasn't even in the ring against Wallin.
He hasn't shown me shit to say he's back. Fought a guy he beat twice in amateurs, and we're knocking about for over 300 rounds in pros.
But
he's dropped that guy before. He's dropped Wallin in sparring. Nobody wanted to mention it now, did they? Do you know what I'm saying?
But what I will give Joshua props on, you only can fight what's in front of you. And out of all the performances against Hellenius, Franklin, it was on his best performance of recent times. He came, Wallin. I mean, look at the last 3 fights. So look at Hellenius, Robert Hilarious, you called him. And you look at okay, Franklin, right? Those two. Franklin gave him a hard night's work. Franklin's tough, I think. He's a tough cookie.
So if he's back to his best, then it should be Fury next, then, shouldn't it? Or somebody really good.
Yeah, I would say so. But the thing is, Wallin didn't bring anything, and you saw a little bit of confidence by Joshua. And I'm not going to take. I'll give credit where's credit's due. Joshua did all right. He did all right, and it's sort of, Ben. You can blame Ben Davison, but is it the case where Ben Davison's located near London and Watford, and it's easier for Joshua to get to, or is it because really Ben Davison's a great trainer? I think it's a mixture of it's an easier location. He doesn't have to traipse over to America to Derek James, and to be honest, the location suits him. But I mean, look, if Ben Davison was that bad. And I hate giving credit here. I hate it, especially to this lad. That if Ben Davis was that bad, he wouldn't have people keep coming to his door. Okay, so he's got a lot to learn. Ben, he's not good as Shane McGuigan. He's not as good as half of them. He just hypes up and he makes that he's bigger than he is. And that's the problem with Ben Davidson. And you saw an okay performance by Joshua. Give credit where credit's due.
Listen, mate, this is how I look at it. Who has Ben Davison trained from debut and done well with? From 0.
No one.
Well, let's talk when he has about Ben Davison. Let's move on from Ben Davison. Right. Shane McGuigan. Is he a good trainer? Is he the number one in the moment? That's what they're saying the number one is, aren't they?
No, he's not number one.
Well, obviously, as regards accomplishments, it's Joe Gallagher, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
But as regards at this present time, they're saying he's the big noise at the moment and going to be the next big thing, aren't they? That's what they're saying.
But how though? How is he? Because there's a lot of other
saying, well, Caroline DeBar got it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You already had Groves, hasn't it? World title. Josh Taylor, undisputed. Caroline DeBar, she'll piss a world title. You know that, don't you? Could you imagine her? Ellie Ebony Bridges. Oh. Could she have a Lauren Price fight? Caroline DeBar, Lauren Price.
I'll get behind that.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a good fight.
Competitive, that.
I'd like to see them fight. Yeah, but Shane's done well. He's had Frampton, hasn't he? Groves, Davey Day. He's had a lot of people through his stable, but the so-called experts are saying him and Bennett next big things, aren't they? To going to come through, and that You know, your Joe Gallagher's, Flex, and all them. They're like, but I don't believe Joe is. I believe he'll be like into his 70s. But a lot of them are falling back wayside, aren't they? A lot of trainers at the moment.
I think Ben's got a bit of catching up to do. To be honest, to Shane, a lot of catching up.
Yeah.
I can see the elements to him as good, and I do think the one thing Ben is not bad at, he's good at maybe
Yeah.
getting to a fighter's head and how he relates to a fighter, and he's good with dialogue.
What I want to see from him, Max, is him take somebody to 20-0 and win a British title and a Commonwealth and an area and an English. Area English, British, Commonwealth in 20 fights. And I think that's progress. I don't want to see him after 12 fights be 12-0, not stopped anybody, and everybody's saying he's a great trainer. Because if you have 12 fights and you haven't stopped anybody, you either can't fight or your trainer's no good. Which is it?
Yeah.
If you're not stopping anybody and you're 12-0 and you're fighting people with losing records all the way through, can you fight?
No.
Right. So what are you doing it for then? What? Or is your trainer training you to fight and you can't fight? Which is it? Who's at fault? Trainer or boxer? If you're 15-0, say, yeah, 15-0, and you've got, say, 2 stoppages, yeah, and you've been fighting all the way through them 15 fights, every single person's got a losing record, yeah?
Yeah.
But you're taking them to points, but you stopped 2 of them. Are you a banger? You're not a banger,
No.
are you?
No.
Now, if you've had 15 fights and you haven't got a belt, right, and everybody's got a losing record who you've fought and you've only stopped 2 of them, you're in wrong game. You're in the shop window waiting for somebody to ring and offer you money. It don't work like that because they look at who you've fought. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
People have got it into their heads that they're going to keep that and pad it out. It don't work like that. You might get a 6 or 7, 8 grand fight when you're 10 or 12. They're not going to throw you hundreds. People's mindsets are all wrong in this game.
Yeah.
They need to do, like James DeGale and George Groves. They both won world titles, didn't they? James DeGale, Olympic gold medalist, yeah. Groves beat him in amateurs and pros, but they both fought when they'd had about 10 fights or something like that, wasn't it? They'd not had a lot of fights. They both won world titles and both ended up millionaires. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
It don't, because you're fighting somebody who's similar to you and is undefeated. It don't mean to say that you're never going to done out in your life if you lose that fight, because you go again. But the mentality now, Max, is we've got to pad our fighters' records out. That's what these small old promoters are doing. Like Dennis, what he did behind a ranking with Tommy Frank. He padded Dave Allen out, didn't he? 4 fights when he came back, didn't he? Yeah, don't worry, Dave, we'll get you on Sky. Sign a 6-fight deal. He had 4 with Dennis, then he went on Sky, didn't he? What now? Is it over for Dave now? 21 stone 2? I don't know, mate, but Dave's records padded out as well, isn't it? Where's that fucking gone? Hang on. Dave's records padded out, isn't it?
But don't you think though, with Dave, and I feel sorry for him in it when he went to Matchroom. He either went with someone so world class, right, or someone that, like nobody at all. Does that make sense? He's either gone up there or down there.
Look at that. You know who that is, don't you?
Who's that?
Whose pebble is that? Kevin's lucky pebble, isn't it? Kevin.
Is it? Ah.
I've had that, Kevin, 2 years. I never let that out my sight. I ain't seen you looking for it. I've got it. And I've had loads of looking last 2 years. And I'm keeping it. Yeah, go on, Max. You were saying about White Ryan.
Yeah, so White Ryan is either fought people like Ortez and like decent or down here. He never's got like anything in between, has he? You know, when he was at Matchroom.
In fact, I've had that 4 year. I think I took that when Nicola were there. I think I nicked that when Nicola were there.
4 years. Jesus.
It probably saved me neck. You know I'm superstitious, don't you, Max?
Yeah, I know you are.
Do you remember that lucky marble I used to have in my Merc? I lost it. I had loads of bad luck after that.
I like that Merc. I like that work. That Merc was nice.
It was a nice looking car, wasn't it? But it wasn't as fast as that BMW, was it?
Nah, but your Merc was a better looking car though.
Yeah, well, a better looking car. But this is what it is, isn't it? It's a piece of tin anyway, as Peter Fury says. You know that Masler, what's he called? Kabayelbi, I can't pronounce his name. Ruslan
Yeah,
Masler.
yeah, 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 yeah. That big Russian lad.
He was a big hype job as well, wasn't he? Like Wilder, wasn't he?
I think right. I don't want anyone getting on my back here, but I think there's something wrong with him. I think he's got like a tick or something wrong with him. I don't know if you ever saw him fight. It's like he's got Tourette's. He kept ticking and moving his head a little bit. If you watch the footage of him, that Russian kid,
Oh yeah. Oh.
yeah, he kept ticking, and he like when he's in the corner, it's like his head kept going to the left side all the time.
Yeah, well, it
And
might have been like doing that Mike Tyson thing, with that thing when he goes like that.
But the fact today is, I think he's got Tourette's, and I think to be fair, you got disability in going in there. No offense caused, sorry, but going in there and giving it a go against Fabiel, he's a good fighter, a very good fighter. I liked how Cabiel dealt with him. I love the speed. I love the range of punches, the variety of punches, and he looks agile, Cabiel. But I'd like to see him against. I want to see him in a big fight. He's got a European, isn't he? So let's see him in a world fight. You know what I mean? World title fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think to J.O. Patia?
Yeah, he's the talent, isn't he? I felt sorry for LS Zorro a little bit. It's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, Jabs here, he stuns you out of nowhere, and that's what clearly happened. And you got to be it's the ones that you don't see or you're not anticipating that take you out, and that's exactly what happened to him.
Yeah.
I think it could be probably a mixture of Elisaro could have. How do you prepare for something like that though? I mean, it's hard to prepare for something like that.
He's not. Caballel.
No, Jay up here. How do you prepare for something like that?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, Bibble's saying after his fought Beater Beef, he's going to fight Jay Opatia, fight him. So the seed would have been planted from Eddie to Bibble if he's working with him. Why don't you move up, fight Jay Opatia? That's a good fight down the line. Give it all that Essex waffle to him. Whether he'd be big enough to come up from light heavyweight to that.
I think it might be.
£25 jump, isn't it? The biggest jump in boxing for weight, isn't it?
Yeah, I bet it's easier. I mean, like Julian always reiterates, it's always easier to go up than come down.
You know that word reiterate, Max? Did they teach you that at uni? Your weapon.
I was going to say something really harsh to you, but you'll give me a bollocking.
Well, Max, I've got your address here.
Yeah. Well,
you in.
Get YB to give me a visit.
YB, what's happened to him? Is he still going strong?
They
all fell by wayside, haven't they now? We don't hear much from them all now.
Just all piss and wind, didn't they?
What happened to Decker then?
It's bad, that, isn't it?
Well, I was watching some on telly and I was looking at these shorts because Reggie would always say, Dad, you need to put YouTube shorts out. I said, I'm not messing about with all that. I'm all on getting this done. So anyway, he were going on. What were on about then?
Decker.
Oh, shorts, Decker. Yeah, that was, yeah. And that was, sorry, I was watching these shorts and I says, no, I'm all right. And anyway, we're looking at this short thing and it come through and it was fucking with patch on eye. Paddy Summer, he piped up and he's
Paddy Conroy, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, just letting you know, Decker's been named in a pedo ring in Philippines. I'm just letting the people know. Like he fucking knows at 6.
To be honest, Russ, I mean, I just can't remember. I just can't forget that time when he was on your channel and he was trying to make out about Billy Joe Saunders and,
No, we tried to cause problems for me that night. You know what?
That's right. And saying you hate travellers, etc. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Because I just don't like John Fury.
Oh, he said, "What's your problem with travellers?" I says, "Which travellers have I been critical about on my channel?" He said, "John Fury and Billy Joe Saunders." So I said, "Well, John Fury's been out of jail. Then it was 6.5 years, wasn't it?" I have to go watch on it's on channel. Just press Decker Poker's Corner. I think he said Decker. Sorry, he said. Sorry, I said John Fury's been out of jail 6.5 years and he's not thrown a punch, not had a fight. And he goes, you and Billy Joe. I said, well, Billy Joe, we quit against Canelo. Are we not allowed to say that? That's what it was basically on, because it was after that fight when I interviewed him. He came out, he saw an angle, didn't he? And he was asking me for sponsorship and asking me to ask Kevin. And also, listen, I've never met him. He seemed all right, but I didn't put the video out there. I left it about 2.5 years, didn't I? I didn't know. I stuck it out. So maybe he had arse on. But when I blocked him straight after, somebody sent me a thing and a screenshot or something. I went, I can't put that out. I thought I'll sit on it. And I did. And then I put it out in time right there. 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
It's him what he tried to do. Tried to get me a good hiding of all travelling men, didn't he?
Yeah.
What, you're always slagging travelling men off. Oh, over slagged off. Have I been critical about Billy Joe in his Canelo fight? Wow, how dare I? Or John Fury saying he's a big fighting man, but not had a fight. Hey? We're not allowed to say that, like. Can't say that, can we? Who else? I said Isaac Lowe's, Bamba Gascoigne. These are the only 3 travelling men I've ever spoke about, aren't they? And Peter, he's my pal. So
what did you say about Isaac Lowe? You said about Isaac Lowe, didn't you?
Isaac Lowe, I've got a message for you. You know what it is, don't you? You don't. You know, don't you, Max?
Yeah.
Isaac, get a bath.
What was that time you said? You turned around
to get you a bath and a shave. She looks smart, you done up, Isaac.
What did you say? You said about Isaac. If I was managing, the first thing I'd do is say, right, let's take your phone off you because you cannot spell.
Well, yeah. Why would you want him putting statements out about fights that he's involved in if he's going to put wrong date and wrong arena? Why would you want somebody like that working as your PR? You know, you get somebody else to do that, won't you? You don't want Isaac Lowe saying he's fighting in London and they go, where? Wembley? And he'll go, yeah. So everybody go to Wembley Arena and is it your call? Well, Max, if I say to you, yeah, come on, Max, get your foot down. We're going to leave Bradford Airport. We're going to Dempster's at Jersey for a piss up. And you go, yeah, okay, we get there. I go, oh, Max, it says Manchester Airport on this. Sorry, mate. Let's go to Manchester now. And you'll go, oh, we're going to miss flight, Porky. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Okie doke. What else have you been up to, Max? We'll wrap it up.
Nothing really. Had a quiet New Year's. Back at work tomorrow. It sucks a bit, but that's the way it is. You got to earn a crust.
Oh, with that bird?
Yeah.
Come on, Max.
3 years now.
3 years, all faithful.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time we were coming up motorway and it were eight quiet in your car for ages and you goes, do you know what? I can't wait to get in. I went, oh, I thought you were falling asleep there, Max. I went, oh, why is that, Max? And you went, because our lass has just sent me a screenshot of a pot roast she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
About 300 miles from that pot roast then, Max, because you don't need to drop off. And you got to go home. So were you dripping by the time you got home? Were you starving?
I can't remember. I think we've been down to Mickey's.
Oh, you weren't. You'd had about 4 Ginsters on M1 every petrol station, especially that one at Leicester you always stop off for. You'll get a Ginsters in there and a Costa, which is like a tenner.
That time. Do you remember that time round the corner from Factory? They charged you a tenner for 2 coffees. He went ballistic.
Yeah, $12.95 for 2 Costas and 2 and that's what's that, mate? $12.95 for two big cookies and what were it? 2 coffees and a cocoa. 13 quid.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I'd have dragged you over this counter, mate. I'd have been on remand. It was harmley then. I'd have been on remand. I can't have limited. I'll tell you about way to Thorn for my petrol because it's 140.9. Though it's 50-mile round trip.
I don't forget.
Principle. You what?
I can't forget the look on the lad's face. He didn't know what to do.
Cocking it in my pocket. I thought, geez, I've got to break into credit card here for this. Only a couple of it's not going to greasy spoon, is it? getting 3 cups of tea for £3 and helping yourself to a couple of biscuits, is it? You go into Costa these days, you get your leg lifted.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. Okay then. Spotty Frank and Eddie Hills. Where are they going to be this time next year, Max? You think they'll be milking that Saudi gravy?
It depends. It depends what happens with Joshua. It depends what happens with Conor Ben. My feeling is Conor Ben is just going to do a silent ban. They're going to say, oh, well, you haven't boxed over here for so long. You know, you've already served a ban. You've got 6 months left or something. That'd be him fighting again. And it's like they're going to go for the Philip Herkovich fight, I reckon. And they ain't going to go nowhere near Zhang. And just going to try and go for that IBF and milk it like they have done with like they were doing before. And that's it. Yeah, your weapon.
Joshua's number 2 ranked now, isn't he? Ergovic.
Yeah. There we go.
Ergovic's number 1, so they're going to go Ergovic next for Joshua. Everybody agrees. Me and Julian called it months ago. They're going to get IBF. And then who is left to fight? He can't fight well. Nobody'd want to watch. Nobody'd pay. They'd be slaughtered for putting that on. Unless with 3 very quick wins and a good story why he lost against Parker. And probably have to do Parker for against Joshua. So that fight's gone for now. There's a little bit of hope for it being there one day, but I think Wilder's probably done. They're not going to want to go near Fury just yet because they want to milk that belt, won't they? It's about money. And these are his best years. They probably could cash in probably for 10 more fights if they're smart. In his head, he'll be thinking, I could probably make $250 million more on top of what he's already got. That's what they'll be looking at in their tiny heads, right? Because they don't care boxing fans. When there's no more money in the well, they'll just leave boxing and go out, move on, and be left to everybody else. They won't be bothered. You'll not see them at shows because they'll get slaughtered, won't they? That's what they'll do. And you're seeing it happen now. They're all besties, aren't they? Because there's that much at stake. You can't This has brought them together, fair enough, but money. You know, once them Saudis are gone, do you think Bricktop and Eddie Hills are going to be pals? Come on.
They might do. It might bury the hatchet, though.
Mate, it's good if they do. It'll grow the sport. We shouldn't have divides in a sport, should we? Should be all as one, like in football, apart from that bar that's made in. Well, it does, doesn't it? Bar. It's a lot of shit. You know what I mean? We spoke about Derek. We spoke about Anthony, Tyson Fury.
About Bricktop on
what?
Simon Jordan.
Bricktop on Simon Jordan. What we Bricktop going on about the atmosphere and Simon Jordan just looking for chinks in armour. Well, there isn't an atmosphere out there. There's no alcohol and there's no atmosphere, is there? That's the bottom line, isn't it? Maybe Wilder couldn't get going because of atmosphere. I don't know. They're supposed to be going to let them drink alcohol, aren't they? Dark line or something they're saying, aren't they?
Well, I mean, I can't see that happening, but Simon Jordan's got to tread very carefully. You know, you're stating the obvious, Simon Jordan, but you've already lost to Eddie Hills twice. So keep very careful, Simon. Especially Frank's shoulder roll.
We don't call him Frank now, we call him Bricktop.
Bricktop, sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, listen, the shoulder roll, did you see it over there on that? Makes Archie Moore look shite at shoulder roll, doesn't he? He does, honestly. I reckon he could give James Toney and Floyd Mayweather a run for the money with that shoulder roll carry on that they do. You know where they're like that? Because you've got your arm there, then you've got your first line defense, and your chin tucked, and it's all like that, isn't it? It's like that, isn't it, Bricktop? I bet when he gets up in the morning, she goes, "Are you all right?" When she leans over, "Are you all right?" Bricktop in the middle of the night, he's like, "Whoa!" I bet she can't get on it. Could you imagine trying to get a kiss on Bricktop on your first date? It'd be like, wouldn't you? He's all right. He's mellowed a bit, hasn't he, in his old age?
He's got he's all right. He's he's come from back from. He's like a phoenix, isn't he? Rises up, comes from nowhere again. He looks like he's done, and he comes out of nowhere again, doesn't he?
Like, it's not a phoenix, mate. You know what it is, don't you? You know the only things that can survive a nuclear blast? Which living things can survive a nuclear blast? Cockroaches. Bricktops are cockroach. They're the only things that can survive a nuclear. You know when a rocket.
Can't say that.
Of course I can. I've said it before. You know when a rocket goes up to the moon. Do you know all that stuff that comes out of them exhaust pipes?
Yeah.
You know when it all goes. Do you know the only things that survive it? Cockroaches.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, Google it, mate.
I will Google it because I don't know if you put my leg, lift my leg on that.
Ron told me it, so it must be true. Big Ron told me one night back 4 in the morning, staggering about like a hobo. But are you going to come back yourself, Max?
Yes.
What weight?
Well, I'm going to obviously be heavyweight, and I.
What
I'm
are you
1910 at the minute. I'm 1910 at the minute. So
1910. You were 19.2, weren't you, yesterday?
1912.
Oh, you've lost 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So if you don't eat out for the rest of the day, Max, and you go to bed now, you'll get up tomorrow 19.8. You know that, don't you? Don't have anything else to eat now, right? 10 to 7. This is the testing time for the human body. 10 to 7 till 10 to 12. So you got this next 6 hours, Max. This next 5 hours is the most important time because you're not at work, you're at home. Fridge is there. You're not like you're locked in a cell, is it? And you can go down what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the hardest time, and you'll have all that turkey, pheasant, veal, quality streets. You'll love them, Max. Quality. You'll love hazelnut.
Well, I'm back in Luton. I don't have them at my disposal now. So
you'll like them hazelnut wheels in milk trays, Max. I've seen you before. You love them. You always go for hazelnut wheel in milk tray.
Know you too well, Russ.
Hazelnut wheels at Kiss of Death, Max. Trust me, I used to be an hazelnut wheel hardcore back in the day. Listen, mate, when I lived at Oakley, and I thought that was it, I thought my time were up. So I just wanted to do what I wanted, basically. Every night I used to get hazelnut wheels, a tray of them. Yeah. If I didn't have any Rice Krispie Squares, it'd be hazelnut wheels. But I'll tell you what's another good one that I used to pig out on Max. Turkish Delights. Pop bang on that one.
Turkish Delights are nice, yeah.
I remember Whispers when they came out. I was one of the biggest complainers about him. I was like, God, I feel robbed. Mum's like, why? Took you all the way down there for one of them and you complain. I said, it's just like a dairy milk. It's a different shape. I'm going to get my paper out and write to him and complain. I was such a serious chocker-aholic in my teens. But, okay, do you think Robert Smith's under a little bit of pressure with this Crusher Ben thing, Max?
Yeah, I think he's gonna work. It's this Crusher Ben thing must be wearing him out, must be wearing him down, you know. And when you've got for a young man like Conor Ben, well, not so young, that's what they do, don't they? They throw lawyers on it. If you're found guilty, and what's going to happen is, you know, let's look at Liam Cameron. Yeah, he got done. Was it 4 years? Was it 4 years?
4 years.
Yeah, he took it like a man. And people, and another person, right? And I don't know who's in the comments section, keeps slagging Jarrell Miller off. Right. Well, let's hold it there. Jarrell Miller, he done the time. He said, took the ban, I'm banned, took out, and got on with it like a man. Conor Ben needs to do that. So with Robert Smith, when there's lawyers' letters coming out to him, it's only going to drag you down, and they only got limited funds. They're not going to suffice their own pockets, are they, to fight this, are they? Let's be honest.
Well, they won't need to, because they've got all them people that are on board that are ex-QCs, or some are still QCs and barristers and legal people. So it's all in-house, you know? So I don't think board have got to worry about. But they just have to go do the job, don't they? That's all they've got to do. Conor Ben can't fight in the UK because he's failed 2 dope tests. We all agree on that, don't we?
Yeah.
The 2 dope tests go back to 18 months. and 15 months. And he hasn't proved his innocence. We don't even know if he's paid for lawyers. They might have just tried to bluff it all the way through. He's had one fight in between that period of time in October. Sorry, he's fought 18 months after his last fight, but the drug issues have been going on 18 months since first test. He hasn't proved his innocence.
Not
Now,
once.
Frank's saying, I can't fight you because we can't do it in UK. Right? So now he's got to go elsewhere. Eubank's looking for something. Conor Ben can only go to America now, can't he? So he fights Feb 3rd against Peter Dodson. You've seen Dobson. You've seen his CV. It's a shocking, isn't it? It's a gimme fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
But,
what
I mean, he shouldn't be called Conor Ben. He should be called Conor Trent.
Yeah.
That's it.
So. It should be called summer. But who are you training with in Luton then now? Have you been going to Graham Hale's gym?
No. So I've been going to
Johnny Ames's gym's down there, isn't it?
Yeah, no. So I've been training a little bit at James Conway's gym. So it's Kieran Conway's dad.
Is he all right with you?
Yeah. The thing is if I was going to do it again and rock up and do it again, I wanted someone on the same, not the same front. Which don't keep it buttoned, you right? So basically, I wanted someone on the same front as like Julian, like who's got my interest at heart. So he ain't going to just slaughter me to the pigs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, because Julian, yeah, great trainer, the best trainer I ever had, the best person ever had in the corner. So props to you, Jules. But he cared about me, you know what I'm saying? And I can see he cares about the people he trains, and you know what I mean? And so I wanted to find someone similar to on that front.
He obviously cares, but he's very honest, Julian, isn't he? An open mind. Yeah. And he's very logical. When he looks at things, he's logical how he looks at things, isn't he?
Yeah. And to be honest, it's just finding someone like for like. I didn't want someone just wanted to be in my corner for £1 note. So, and that's what I sort of found, you know. Maybe not as good, you know, but if someone's got my welfare, because at the end of the day, I've got a child to feed, you know, and I want to get out there safely. So that's the crap.
Max, why would you want to be boxing then if you want to pick and choose who you fight?
No, it's not pick and choosing our fight. It's on staying in my lane. It's all about staying in my lane.
Oh, what is your lane? Is it a professional boxer or is it misfits or is it white collar? What is it, Max?
Just low domestic level.
Lower domestic level. Against who in the top 50 could you fight from the UK? There's only 52 altogether everywhere.
Yeah. So you look like as if, you know, Nick Campbell, people like that.
Is that Scottish kid?
Yeah, Scottish kid, yeah.
What was the Scottish kid who we covered in tats? Different
Jay McFarlane.
Yeah, Jay McFarlane, that's it. He's a decent pay field, Max, isn't he?
Yeah. So I mean, so they're the sort of ones I'll be after. I wouldn't be going after top 10 and anything like that. It's about staying in my lane, Russ. You know, knowing where you are.
Would you fight White Rhino?
Nah, it's too much. It's too much.
White Rhino's too much for you. What, at 21 stone plus?
Yeah, but the thing is,
20, what if you got down to 19 and you were 19 or you were 18? Would you fancy it then?
What's it in it for him? He ain't going to get paid well out of it, is he? I'd rather fight someone like Cash Ali.
Yeah.
You know, he's a bit inactive, and you know, right, Rhino. He, you know what? It disappointed me that Fraser Clark fight. Really disappointed me that because I was really leaning over Dave on that because Fraser Clark didn't put a good account of himself, and I think Dave's got more than the capabilities to tuck him up.
Yeah,
it just annoyed me a little bit, and you know, but saying that, Fraser Clark did low blow him a couple of times, but yeah, I thought so. And Dennis and Dave were well in their rights to complain, but they're never going to get that. They're never going to get anything.
Dennis don't complain. All it looks is makes you look sour grapes, and you don't get another
exactly
of the cherry.
But the point is that they got every right to be aggrieved. But the thing is you're an away fighter, so you're never going to get.
If he's had 2 points took off him for fouling, and he keeps doing the same foul again, right?
Yeah.
Why weren't they disqualified? It's not a trick question.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a simple way. The reason he took them 2 points is because he'd had enough. One more time, and I'm going to disqualify you. He told him. Everybody heard it, and he did it 4 more times, but nothing happened. So where's the consistency?